Well, before we put this project to bed, I think we have some more data we could probably get out of this. Make you sick moving this thing around. Try to keep them in the same order. And I'm going to compare the seating depth to all of them. We'll use the first one as a gauge. 0 for the first one. -1. I don't know if I should be writing this down. -5/10, half of a thousandth. As Ken showed me today, or told me about. -1.5. Minus half a thou. Right on. Half a thou, I think, wasn't it? Half a thou. 1,000. 1,000. 1.5 thousandths. These are pretty close. I guess I could wiggle it around in half a thousandth. Probably what I should do. Well, there's a long one. 2.5. When I initially 2.5. How did that? When I initially did my seating depth test, 1.5. I used 3 thousandths difference in each of my seating depths. Frankly, I'm a little surprised at some of these. It's not something I'm real proud of. They seem to be in groups. Said, I'm not crazy about this. I wonder if something slipped or I got some dirt in there. We'll go back to the number 1. Yeah, look at that. Might have got some dirt or something in there. I'm going to go back and start with number 11. 1 -1. Right on. That's what happened. I think we got a little dirt in there. Right on. -1/2. -1. minus 1. Right on. Plus 1. Plus half. Minus 1. Plus 1. Incidentally, today's Wednesday, and I shot with the group today. Plus 1. What a beautiful day. Plus 1.5. I shot a little below my average. 2.5. 0. I'm going to check this again. Here we are at 0.3 again. Shot a little below my average. In fact, I couldn't even hit the target when I first got out there. 1.5 minus. I had forgotten this rifle. I usually just shoot at 1,000, and I was making load comparisons and stuff, and the longest I could get a target out here was 500 yards. Took the backer boards down at 600, so I was stuck with 500, which I cleaned. 20 shots in the 10 ring, and I forgot how many X's, but even most of them were X's, so that was a good day. But then I go out to 1,000 and couldn't hardly hit the berm. And it dawned on me. Put about 26 units up, and my golly, we were pretty close. Couple more sighters, and we were right on. I shot 1.7. I had no idea where that came from, and I don't know why this is moving around. I guess if I took it apart and cleaned it, it would probably help. No idea where the 7 came from. Followed it up with an 8. Followed it up with a 9. And we finished out with 10s and X's. So not necessarily in that order, but I felt a lot better about it once I got my act together. I always used to tell myself I would zero it back to 100 yards. Or turn the turrets back to 100 yards so you know where you're starting every time. And I guess just gotten lazy. Well, I think most of the discrepancies in here is maybe a little dirt. So if you think I ought to make a graph or a chart out of it, let me know. Let me turn this off and we'll get something else out of this. Okay, same gauge, different body. We'll measure primer depth. Put the little blank in here to zero it out. And then I've not used this gauge, but with my tremors it's going to be difficult. If not impossible. -3. -3. There's a little like collet at the bottom here that we're measuring against. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Let's see what else we can do here. Turn this off before we lose everybody. Alright, we're going to try this one. It's a little different. I made it primarily to measure the depth of primer pockets. That one's almost 13. Here's a 223. 12.1. We'll see if we can measure the depth of primers with this and my tremors. Oh, that's going to be a tough one, huh? -3. That's what we had on the last one. I'm starting over here. -1. Remember, -5. We -3. We had two different ways, -3.5. Two different ways we seated the primer. One was with the 650, and one was with the other primal rights. These aren't very spectacular either. This might be an area to work on. Goes from 0.2 to, I don't know, I might have saw 0.7 in there. 0.5. We only had, I think, there's 0.7. We only had 11 of them that I seeded on the primal rights, and I think I came back and seeded a couple of more just for grins to see how much change it would be visually. And yeah, I think this is going to be an area that maybe I'm going to work on. It's not, I don't think it's too stellar going from 0.3 to 0.8. There's one that thinks it's, I might not have it 0. No, I didn't have it 0. I don't have anything but a smooth surface on the back, so you have to kind of line it up. I think my buddy Tony helped with this project. And I think I see a modification or two that we can do. All right, we didn't see much there other than we're going to be able to make some changes. Maybe an area that we can improve upon. I'm very surprised at this. I think I'll start by cleaning up the primer pockets and uniforming them, and then see which seating method seems to work. See, now in here we're starting to get pretty consistent. Yeah. Now we come up with that one. I could probably run them through the Primal Rights one to even them up a little bit, but I don't think I need to do that with fully loaded cartridges. I feel certain that, or almost certain, there wouldn't be any difficulties. But all right, enough of that boredom. Let's see, what else can we do? We can see if how accurately I bump the cases. Let's turn this off and see if we can come up with another plan here. All right, I have to look at it crooked, I guess. I think when we set the bump on the case, it was, before we bumped it, it was 1.750, and I bumped it only 1/1000. So 1749, pretty much what we had there. This is part of that 1744, 743. We're not looking real stellar here tonight. 744 instead of 745. That's 6 thousandths. I thought we adjusted that out on 744. Or 745. Zero it out again there. I wonder if when I size the neck with the mandrel, if that isn't perhaps causing a little bit. This is pretty terrible. For as well as these things shoot, you know, that's it's almost 5 thousandths there. And 4. 744 seems to be about the number. But then on the little one sneaks in there, 741. See if it's still holding 0. Pretty much. Forgot which row I was on. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here. I think I should have just left it. Should have left it where it was. I did adjust this too, didn't I? So I think it was right to begin with, and then I made it wrong. Yep. Well, an interesting conundrum here. I love conundrums, especially a little hot sauce. Yep, I think that's what happened when I came charging in here to do this last night with you. I must have, I don't know, not cleaned the caliper right or at all. These all seem fairly consistent. 744. A few oddballs, but there's 740. They, well, we'll know the next time. Of course, I'm spinning a little bit to try to get the bottom number. Yep. Well, we should have left it alone. I looked a lot better last night after we finished this than I do right now. But we'll get with seating of the bullets, which I'm fairly comfortable with. Primers we got to work on, and bumping the case. This actually won't hurt anything, I don't think, except it's pretty tough on the brass. When the brass only has to move a thousandth or two, there's probably a lot less strain on it than it has to move 4 or 5 thousandths. Although I think semi-autos, you load them with about 4 thousandth bump. Oh well. So much for that. I don't see any reason to put it on paper. It's screwed up. Not screwed up. It's just the way it is. We'll go shoot it and see what happens. We'll probably shoot just fine. Thank you.